Alright, everybody, so right now I am waiting at Walmart for my vehicle to get an oil change. Why do you get an oil change at Walmart? Well, because I'm broke. Okay, so this is the Mac 2 Mcnees Mac 2 3-inch, and just wanted to kind of talk about it for a minute. So the first Mcnees I ever got was this is a Shanghai exclusive. It's from Urban EDC. So I got a Shanghai exclusive 3.5 auto, and it was awesome. Absolutely loved it. I've had a few autos. I'm not too crazy about them, but I wanted to try the Mcnees out. It came up to where I could get it in a trade, so I did it, even though I way overpaid for it, but that's normally how it is with trades. So anyway, I got this next. I really wanted to have this. This was in a waffle. Played the waffle, didn't win, and ended up talking the dude who won it into trading it. Most people aren't crazy about smaller knives. The 3-inch is a smaller knife when compared to most other knives. But really, it's fine. So we do have a lanyard hole. When you've got a small knife and you've got a lanyard and a bead on it, that kind of gives you a little bit of extra grip. There's not really any sort of choke up room on here, so it really is a 3-finger knife. So when I got this, I had never had a knife before that had, screws going in one side and that's it. So that's different. I wasn't used to that. And also the detent hole is just a hole. And when I got this, I thought maybe that there was a screw missing or something, and I reached out to Mcnees, and they said, nope, that's just how we do it. And he noticed that little burr on it. And he told me he was surprised that that made it out like that. He wanted me to send it in and they would get that fixed up for me. And I have not done it because I don't want to let this thing go. I don't even want to, I don't want to be without it for even a couple weeks. So it's not a big enough deal to me to where I care to send it in. I might send it in eventually. I would imagine that if they touch that up, they might re-anno it. I'm not sure. I don't know how you could touch that burr up and not re-anno it. So that would be a reason why I would do it, because it is kind of scuffed. That would be nice to get it redone. But anyway, it's small, The lockup on here is pretty, it's not much of a lockup, but it's solid. Even though that's only a little bit right there, that's blocking the blade pretty much all the way to that detent hole. So that's not going anywhere. That's absolutely rock solid. And for it being such a light, that's like what, 5%, 10% lockup, it's still got amazing detent. With this knife here, I've noticed that doesn't matter, I can slam this thing and most of the time it doesn't even pop up at all. That's really I haven't had any knife that did that. So another thing I love about Mcnees is I explained about how the detent ball is right up at the very top. I don't have a flashlight on me, but let me see, hold on. Okay, I can kind of see it. See the detent ball way back there? So you get it even right there. Like, it's either want to snap back, like right at, it's either going to pop back or it's going to be cleared. This thing, even though it is a little guy, the action is absolutely amazing. The action on this is really, really awesome. John Mcnees makes his knives to where you can't really slow roll them. You build up pressure, and then it flies open. People that aren't used to this knife have trouble reverse flicking it. Even regular opening it can be tough because it's a small knife. Naturally, your hands are going to be like this. Your hands are going to be over that lock bar. Now, if you're pushing down, because you got to build up pressure. If you're pushing down, you're also pushing down back here. So when you're pushing on that lock bar, it's not going to open. It's going to be tough to open. So you kind of get used to just putting your hands behind that lock bar. The reverse flick is nice. I don't have any issue reverse flicking it. I kind of get my finger like right there, like right there, kind of on the blade, half on the blade and half on the stud. Opens just fine. Also on this guy right here, the jimping, absolutely perfect. I love the jimping on here. It's not aggressive, but it's also good jimping. Nice grip there. I've held a lot of knives. I've had a lot of knives come and go out of my collection, and when I got this guy, I was really, really blown away on the amount of just detail that he did. I mean, he really put a lot of work into this knife. Kind of one of those things you got to experience it to know fully, but when I got this particular knife, I knew that I wanted more Mcnees, and there's a reason that even this little guy right here, it's nearly $500. That's a lot of money. A lot of money for a little knife. I like how he does the lock bar. That little groove right there makes for a really nice, pleasant, no hot spots. I don't know. This knife's absolutely amazing, and the only criticism I would have on this knife and the other Mcnees too that I've had, the lanyard hole is so freaking tiny, man. I've got a lanyard I would love to put on here, but unless you make the lanyard yourself and can loop it through that hole and then start, there's no way that you're gonna fit much into there. That's the one and only critique I would make on this knife. Another thing that's awesome about Mcnees is their customer service. If you're going to spend this much money on a knife, I think it's important that you look into what people think of their customer service. If you have any issues at all, are you going to have trouble getting your stuff resolved? There's a few companies out there. Me personally, I have dealt with Rick Hinderer. I had a knife of his that kind of scuffed the blade up real bad, and I kind of asked him if there was any way that he could help me to fix it up, or even to buy a new blade, send it in and get a new blade, and he was a total prick. Well, no, I don't think it was him personally, but I've heard a lot of horror stories about Rick Hinderer customer service. A lot of companies want to say, oh, well, that whatever happened, it's not under warranty. You spend this much money on a knife, that it shouldn't matter what the hell you do to it, unless you put it through a torture test and try to break it, okay, that might be a warranty issue. But anything else, I mean, dude, you're spending that much money on a knife, you should be able to get it fixed regardless. So, yeah, Benchmade, amazing customer service. Zero Tolerance, great customer service. Mcnees, great customer service. That's really about all that I've dealt with personally, so I can't speak on others. But Mcnees, definitely amazing. I would love to have more Mcnees. I would really love to have one of his Tontos, but those are so hard to get. But yeah, Mcnees are dope. This is one of the older ones. This is a CTS XHP blade. He's doing Magna Cut now on everything, so far as I know, and he's also doing hollow grinds on everything. And this is a flat grind. But the two Mcnees that I have now are both flat ground, and they are super sharp, super slicey. Of course, hollow grind is a little better, but I don't have any issues with this one at all. Absolutely love it. This one will probably stay with me. I don't think I'll get rid of this one. And not many people are even into the 3 inches, you know, from what I've seen. I'm sure people do want them, but people really only want the 3.5s. So, yep, love this knife, absolutely, and won't be going anywhere, not anytime soon. So I've got a knife coming tomorrow that I am very, very excited to show off. So, yep, hope you all have a good one. My car should be ready here any minute. So, oh, another thing too, some frame locks that I've had, I go to do this little deal right here, and some knives, like my Zero Tolerance, my I don't know, I've had a few knives that I go to do that, and it's just doesn't work well because the detent's not strong enough. You got to have a good detent to do that. So, yep, these knives are made in Arkansas by Jonathan Mcnees and a small crew. So that's pretty cool. I like knowing where my knives were made and who made them. So, yep, Mcnees knives forever. Peace.